One of South Africa's biggest names in comedy, Marc Lottering, covers a broad range of topics ranging from how to live in debt to the dangers of a WhatsApp family and many more other topics. Now, Hashtag Lottering will keep audiences in stitches at the Baxter Theatre from the 17th of January until the 4th of February. And to tell us more about the event, we're joined from our Cape Town studios by Marc Lottering. A very good morning to you, Marc, and a warm welcome to Morning Live. Now, tell us more about what the Hashtag Lottering is.
Good morning to you and a phenomenal new year to you. Hashtag Lottering was started last year. I performed the show around the country. It's my latest, as you correctly say, hit show. You read my emails very well. And it's been very well received by all South Africans everywhere. We've had a season in Cape Town last year which was sold out. So I come back to Cape Town for only 3 more weeks, starting on Monday at the Baxter Theatre with Hashtag. And the show is, I think people scream with laughter because it hits a lot of true spots, telling us all about debt, especially now after the festive season. I mean, even I'm sitting here with a T-shirt that I'm still having to pay off. So Hashtag Lottering is all about, just recovering from the festive season. And I tell everybody, after all the debt that you're going to be paying now, because, during the festive season, we've got to have braais and buy meat we can't afford, entertain people we can't really afford to have over. So you've only got about 75 Rand left. This is the perfect show just for you to get over the blues, because you can either stay home and wait for that call center to phone you for their money, or you can just come to my show and forget about it for about 80 minutes.
Now, speaking of debt, Marc, you're saying that you can successfully live in debt. How in the world is that possible?
It's possible with Sauvignon Blanc. That's one way to forget that you have debt. But the other way is I found that South Africans always look great. We drive beautiful cars, especially in Joburg. The girls wear their handbags. They don't hide it away. If it's a great handbag with a label, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, you carry it like that. You show everyone, this my handbag. So you can still style. You can look amazing. You can hang out with AKA. You can be one of those people. Nobody will know that you're struggling. South Africans know how to successfully live in debt because we always look amazing.
Right. Let's talk about the topics that you normally discuss in your shows.
The topic, the one that I will talk to you about essentially, because I think people will relate to it now, is how over the festive season they've had to join the family WhatsApp group because people trick you into joining that group. It's a terrible group, the family WhatsApp chat, because it's always started by unemployed people in the family because they've got nothing to do in the day. So they just copy and paste Maya Angelou and they make you read it on your data. So the WhatsApp group, it's dangerous because they trick you. They say, join the group so we must decide what to do for Christmas lunch. And that's the deception. And you join the group and then you're trapped because you have to stay there forever. Because when you exit, you're going to look really evil. You're going to look like a bad person. The family's going to go, who does she think she is? So you have to stay there. And people have been trapped over this season, joining the group with people lying and saying what they're bringing to your house for Christmas lunch because everybody's got to pitch in. Nobody brings anything. You end up in debt. So those are all the things that we talk about. And I think it's really, really topical now. And with all the stress, people just need to get some kind of release with the laughter.
Now, Marc, why did you decide to embark on this one-man show? I mean, what's the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration behind me embarking on these one-man shows is actually very, very serious. Is that I'm completely in debt. I live a great life. If you must see me in Cape Town, you're going to be so envious of me. I drive the most amazing car. Yeah. I look sexy while I'm driving. The top is down. I live in the most amazing house, which I don't own. So I am in debt. So God has used me to write this show so that people out there can come and watch and pay and thereby help me to keep head above water. But seriously, folks, I write the shows because I think South Africans love to laugh. I think we live in a time, we live in a country where laughter, I find, is almost therapeutic. I've said this for years. It brings South Africans together. And of course, it keeps my credit card happy. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, you've been in the industry for many years. Many have come and gone. But then what's your staying power?
I think the staying power is, I always say the audience will dictate whether you should stay or whether you shouldn't. If you're going to open a show and nobody's coming to the venue to watch you, then you're in trouble. And with South African comedians, South Africans love comedy. So they come to watch all of the time. They're very loyal, but they don't like it when they hear stories that they've heard before. So the challenge for me and for all the other comedians in the industry in South Africa is always to keep your pencil sharp, to stay relevant, to keep telling people new stories. And if the theatre's still full and if the theatre's still packed and people are still laughing, then I think you're doing the right thing. You know, I will leave when the theatres get empty and when people stop laughing. But for now, the going's good.
Yeah, it certainly is. I can bet that. Now, the hashtag Lottering kicked off last year. How has the response been?
The response has been amazing. I've been around the country. I've also been outside of the country with the show. We've had sold-out houses all over the place. People have been laughing. Some people have been losing their dentures while laughing, and you know that you're always onto a good thing. I've been to Joburg last year where people were screaming. I think I go back later this year. We go back to Monte Casino with the show as well. So the reception has been really great. And I think once again, you know, it just points to the fact that with everything happening in our country, politically and otherwise, the one thing that South Africans do want to do is laugh. People do want to come out and just take a break from reality in a sense, or they want to hear reality reflected, but in a very different way. So with comedy, it seems to be the answer for most South Africans, and that's why I do believe the reception for the show, it's just been so well received over last year. We've got only 3 more weeks left in Cape Town, and then it's done. So people need to go to CompuTicket this week now, after this interview, and book your tickets. The show has been selling already, so there are still a few seats left, and it only runs until the 4th of Feb at the Baxter Theatre.
Now, Marc, before I let you go, the issue of your fellow comedians stealing each other's jokes, how do you deal with that?
I've heard these stories so often, and I think if the audience is laughing and somebody else is delivering a gag that you've heard before, you've just got to let it go. I think it's a compliment if someone's stealing your gags. But I personally walk away, and you try and go out there, write something fresh, and just be your excellent self. And above everything else, I always tell the other comedians, and I know it's difficult for them because I just speak from a personal perspective. When as a good-looking comedian, and I can only say that for myself, you've just got to roll with the punches, stay tall, stay sharp, look after yourself, always look sharp, and go out there and tell your stories. If other people are stealing your gags, and half of the time I must tell you those stories are really not true, but when other people are telling your stories again, there's only one you, and you've just got to pick yourself up. Don't get stuck on that. Carry on writing new stuff. Go out there. If people are screaming at what you're saying, enjoy that moment. But I don't really have time for the squabbles about who's stealing what. I mean, losers steal, and that's what they're always going to do. But I don't get stuck on that. I just move right on.
All right, good one, Marc. Thank you so much for joining us, eh?
Thank you. Can I tell you that you're looking really sharp on camera, and whatever you're doing in your life right now is working? If you're in a relationship, it's obviously the right relationship because you're coming across as a solid human being. So I was just prompted to tell you that. Thank you.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm also still paying for this suit, Marc.
That's the wrong thing to say on air. You should have just left it where I left it off because we were on a very good note. Now people are going to be very sympathetic. But walk like a champion. You look like a champion.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Marc. Really appreciate it. All right, that was Marc Lottering, South Africa's very own comedian. Tongue in cheek there. And after the break...